everybody, happy Saturday. It's your girl Suzette Speaks. I brought a very special woman with me today. As you know, each and every Saturday we like to bring you fresh voices, people that you can relate to and hopefully learn from, and I'm definitely inspired by this woman, and I hope you will be too. Her name is Miss Jackie Powell. Yay, big up Jackie Powell. She's coming to you all the way. We're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in Lauderhill to be exact. We're at a restaurant today. I'm so full, but I'm still gonna be eating. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. We're at Joy's Roti Delight. And I also like to bring you interviews from interesting places. This is a Trinidadian, big up all the Trinidadians, Trinidad and Tobagonians, I think that's how you say it, Trinidad and Tobago, island in the Caribbean, just off the coast of Venezuela. They're known for their soca music, chutney music, of course the big carnival that happens every spring there, and again, people with passion, and you can just taste it in their food. So I'm really excited just to have a kind of just kick it kind of Saturday. Always like, always share, and please feel free to comment. I want you to really be our feedback as far as the discussion today. So I'm talking to Jackie as we're eating and munching and looking on your comments. We want to introduce you to her because Jackie is such a unique specimen. Can I just call you that? In a beautiful way. Not only is she a great person inside and out, I know her personally. Let's first put that on the table. Jackie and I are really more than friends. We're going to be joining not only forces but families. My brother is currently engaged to her niece. So I know her as an attorney, but I also know her as a friend. And we really wanted to just sit down and have this chit chat at Joy's. I gotta big them up once again, sorry. Joy's Roti Delight. Because not only is it good to kind of break bread with friends every now and then, ladies, you know how it's important to go for brunch and dinner and just catch up, because we haven't done that in a while. But it's also important for you to hear people's journeys that always, from the outside, often I should say, from the outside, look as if they were squeaky clean, or almost, should I say easy, or very easy journeys, when there's a lot more meat and potatoes and, should I say, shrimp curry and roti behind the journey. So I'm always inspired by hearing what women have overcome as far as challenges and as far as balancing this whole thing called life, which is never easy for single women, married women, women who are practicing law, women who are running for office, all the rest of the stuff. People who are literally just following their dreams. You know, I'm Suzette Speaks, and I'm about chase the real you. That's my theme, that's my hashtag. And I always want to find people who are doing just that. So Jackie is one of those people. So just give us an idea of who Jackie Powell is. Welcome, Jackie.
Thank you so much again, Suzette, for having me.
My pleasure.
And for speaking to your audience.
My pleasure.
My name is Jackie Powell, and I am a candidate for County Court Judge here in Broward County. It's Group 19 that I'm running in. There's a judge that was retiring at the end of the year, so it's an open seat in which I'm running in.
So, as a middle bite. People don't just happen upon running for judge. There's a life story behind it. There's a journey, and I'm always curious as to what that is like. So Jackie is an immigrant from her teen years. She came to the United States from Jamaica, big ups, and she first came with her family to New York. How was it in New York? How old were you? What was life like for you when you first came to the United States?
So definitely, Suzette, my migratory path took me from East Kingston, Jamaica, to Queens, New York.
Queensbridge!
Where I completed high school in Queens and started college there. I actually started at Hunter City College on Lexington Avenue in Manhattan. So the funny story is, in the 11th grade, I walked into 11th grade class, and there's this guy sitting at the back of the room with his friends, and he says, "Nobody talks to that girl, she's gonna be my wife."
In 11th grade.
I don't know who he is. I rolled my eyes, sat in my front seat, because I was a nerd. And
from those times.
But here, we don't have enough time to tell the full story. But 6 years later, he did ask me to marry him, and I did say yes. And 28 years later, we're still together.
I love it. Yes. Big up Raymond. Yes. So that's the other half of Jackie, who couldn't be with us today. Yeah. We have her good friend Francia in the back, helping us with the camera. Hey, Francia, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Francia.
And I think it's good to know that on a journey like hers, an extraordinary journey like hers, there can be a romantic partner. There can be life outside of the courtroom. Right. So I love that fact that literally on your high school journey, like 11th grade, someone eyes this great lady and says, hey, that's mine, hands off, and the rest is history. So shout out to Raymond Powell, who hopefully is watching. So when did you decide to come to Florida?
So Raymond had moved to South Florida because he had family here and he had started working and he was finishing school down here.
Right.
And so we were dating long distance, and so we decided to put that to an end.
Okay.
So after we got married, I moved to South Florida so we could start our life here.
Okay.
And I completed my
You
bachelor's
followed
degree.
him.
I followed
Note.
him. I followed him.
I love it. So much scandal.
But he was following me first.
Oh,
okay.
Clarification.
Okay.
Clarification. So you come down because you don't want to do long distance, and you say, okay, here I am.
Right.
And
so I completed my bachelor's degree at FAU.
Okay, go Owls. FAU
Yes.
in the house. So what did you study at FAU?
So I studied English Lit.
English Lit.
English major, because I thought I wanted to become an English teacher. That was my goal when I, as a teenager. But life happens.
Life happens, and so what happens?
So
you
life
get your
happens,
job,
and
a child happens.
I got married. I moved to South Florida. I became employed at a law firm. The husband and wife team of Marco and Barbara Heyer. I was employed with them.
Two different regions.
Sure. And I started working with them, and I didn't know that was going to become almost a 10-year relationship.
Wow.
For almost 10 years, I worked with them. So both my children were born while I was working at Golden Hire.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So you must have had a great relationship with them.
I did.
And-
I do.
and
And
I-
still do.
Which I love because one thing about Jackie, she kind of lucked into finding people in her first job that wanted to be mentors. So talk about that relationship between you and Barbara and
Marco.
Mark.
He's actually a retired judge now. He's retired Marco. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you started in his office, and what were you doing while you were there?
So I, you would do research, you would draft motions, and they literally taught me how to do legal stuff, research. I was responsible for the procedural stuff. We had to know when the next brief was due and putting the brief together and, all proofreading and all that stuff. Going to court with them, sitting with them at their trial table, I had that awesome experience.
So on-the-job training, which a lot of people still are lucky enough to get in America sometimes.
Right.
So you are with them for 10 years, your family is growing, and you decide to go to law school when?
You know what? Actually, it was their idea, really.
Wow.
They suggested, that why don't you go to law school? And I was looking at them like, okay, that was not in my thought.
Yeah.
And there was an initial fear, initial panic because you didn't, no one in my family had been to law school. At that time, no one in my family even had a second degree. My younger sisters were making their way through their college education, and saying to me, Jackie, just go and take a class and study how to take the LSAT and then take the LSAT.
I love it.
And I did
Before
that.
we keep going, again, I love you commenting, sharing. If you know Jackie, if you are identifying with her story, if you want to comment, please do leave your comments. I see Donna Royce Black is on. Thank you. Com Love, Valerie Miller, all the other people just joining us. Thank you so much for watching. Again, Suzette Speaks and Jackie Powell. So we get into a very, very nurturing office environment. I'm almost envious.
Yes.
People who are not afraid and insecure and wanting to see someone else excel at life and become the best they can. So they encourage you to go to law school, which I think is awesome. So you were kind of, like you said, trepidatious at first. Hey, we got some of the Soft family here. This is Facebook Live. This is Facebook Live. So we're literally, again, Joy's Roti Delight. Enjoying the shrimp roti, enjoying the vegetable roti. I'm stuffing my face while I'm enjoying this conversation. But we want to big up Dave, we want to big up Sheila, and all the people who are here, who are helping us make today's broadcast beautiful and delicious. So you get some bosses who I think, like I said, are phenomenal, and really become leader mentors, and say, go for it, get it, Jack, you can do it. So you decide eventually to go to law school?
I took a class. I don't remember, some Kaplan study practice.
Yeah.
I took that class, and then I took the LSAT and applied to law school, and I got accepted. So, hey, what do? You go to law school.
Imagine that. But what I want Jackie also to talk about is that law school wasn't a cakewalk. Law school wasn't like, oh, I got to law school. Now life is on hold and I'm in law school.
Right.
Explain what your circumstances were like when you started school.
So by the time I applied, by the time I started law school, of course I told you I was married before. So now my daughter was 7, my son was 4.
Wow.
And I enrolled in law school full time because I did not want this to become a lifetime.
Which happens. People who take classes for 10, 12, 15 years. I'm not knocking it.
No.
Because sometimes it takes you a while to graduate.
Right.
But sometimes you get stuck too. You don't ever like really commit.
Well, I didn't have time to get stuck. I needed to get this thing done, so I enrolled full time. I continued to work part time. I was the youth director of my church during that time, so I remember going to, he's my late senior pastor, and saying to him, you know, I'm in law school and they tell you can't be doing anything else but going to law school. And he said, I don't even know how he said it, but he didn't let me off the hook.
Wow.
He said you have a team and you need to work with them and get this done. So I continued to be the youth director, and I was working part-time. And so this is how I like to sum it up. I went to school full-time, I worked part-time, but I graduated on time.
Hey. So, okay, we're going to talk about excuses, ladies and gentlemen. I know many of us, myself included, there are so many things that we want to do, particularly after life happens, as in you start getting older, you have a family now, you have bills, adult obligations, and you make a lot of excuses about not being able to go for something. So I'm looking at this woman who decides to go to law school in her 30s, and at the time is already married, has children, 4 and 7,
Yep.
and has a job, and is the youth director at her church, and I could probably add a couple more things, and is full-time as a student studying law, of all things. And you did it, like you said, on time.
Yes.
And how does that work? Because I know there are people out there like, what? I feel lazy. Like, how does that happen? How does a woman...
First of all,
I mean, I know you're dynamic.
I say
but I'm like,
I say
what?
it now and it sounds like a breeze. It was not a
No,
breeze.
that can't be. I was in law school with no kids, and I know it wasn't a breeze.
It was
Oh my
difficult.
gosh.
It was difficult, but I again, you need a support system, and I did have that. I had that through my immediate family, and I also had that through my church family.
Oh, wow.
I really did have.
So people helping you with the kids and
Dynamic
childcare, and while I'm
support.
studying, and
Right.
while you're doing this. And
Right.
of course, your husband got to be on board.
Right.
Because that seems like it would almost be, your relationship would change for a short period of time.
Of course.
Like, you won't see me. I'm studying. I love you.
Right.
But I
did say that a lot of times, but he was great, and
Oh, man.
we were committed to supporting each other, and so he did what it took for me to get through this
I love
process.
it. Shout out to the men and women supporting their spouses and loved ones on these tough parts of the journey.
Yes.
Shout out to the people watching. Big up to Roger. Hey, Jamila, what's up? Valerie. Hainsworth, how are you? Good afternoon. Again, Suzette Speaks coming to you each and every Saturday, or like every other Saturday, talking with women from all walks of life about their journeys. Today's guest, again, Jackie Powell. She's running for judge. So let's fast forward a little bit so you get through this tumultuous time, because I know I cried every night of law school. So she was doing it with a smile on her face.
No,
and
there was
actually,
crying. There was
girl,
crying.
if you want to go, just inbox me and I'll tell you what time it is. So it's not an easy feat, and definitely not an easy feat to do with all that you had on your plate.
Right.
But like I said, when you make up your mind, not just you, when people make up their mind to do something and commit to it, it's possible. So I want to know so when you get out of school, do you go into private practice? What are you looking like as job prospects?
Right. So I graduated. I interned at the public defender's office my last year of law school, and so the day the bar results came out, I was still interning there, And so as soon as the bar results come out, they said, you passed? I said, yes. They said, you're hired. So
Isn't that how it's supposed to work? Thank you, Lord. It took me a whole year after the bar to find my first bar. I came out there in a recession. So anyway.
So I worked at the Public Defender's Office, Broward County Public Defender's Office, almost 8 years I was there. I learned so much. Trials, dealing with clients, motion practice. The last 3 years of my tenure at the Public Defender's Office, I was the supervising county court. I was one of the supervising county court attorneys.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So got the job and made something of
Yes,
herself with
yes.
it.
I
Very
really
cool.
worked hard. Just about the time my daughter was about to go to high school, we needed more money. You know how public service
And
does
how
not-
expensive kids are.
Yes, yes.
And then you're like, what? You need what? Graduation this, graduation that?
Exactly. So I left the public defender's office and went to a private firm and worked there again for almost 5 years.
Oh, so yeah, lots of experience, public and private.
Yes.
In different
I've
firms.
done criminal work and civil work, and now I'm a solo practitioner. I do family law, criminal defense of landlord-tenant, and small claims case, which means that if the action is $15,000 or less, you bring it to county court, and those are called small claims.
Okay, so I love it. So Jackie, a whole lot of fast forward. So not only do you go to the PD, so again, in the U.S. system, if you're not familiar, for those watching in other countries, if you can't afford a lawyer, as they say on the TV shows, one will be assigned to you. And the Public Defender's Office is that office in our legal system. So she worked as those attorneys who represent people who are indigent, who cannot afford private representation. And I'm sure you learned a lot. What did that experience teach you?
Well, it's an old saying, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
And so I learned a lot about, not making assumptions when people walk in, not making assumptions based on the first set of things that you read. You really have to talk to people.
Yeah.
You really have to get to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And really, you need to hear the other side of the story.
Right.
Because, when the case starts, you hear one side, but then you realize that there's so many different sides.
Let me tell you, as an attorney, don't go for the first set of facts. Because what your client tells you initially is probably wrong. So, and that goes into life too. Listen carefully and always be a little skeptical and like, is that really what happened? Let me ask someone else what they think. So you learn that a lot, and I agree with you. Sometimes the book cannot be totally assessed by the cover. And a lot of times in the judicial system, particularly in the United States, we see a lot of people that seem to be prejudged, not always, by folks who are assuming they have other circumstances that are going to force them to be, less than professional. What you got going on? What is this?
Oh no! We can't eat any more food.
What is this? Oh my God! Shout out to Joy's Roti Delight in Lauderhill, Florida. I was enjoying the shrimp roti. And what you said is this, love? Chinese chicken, Trini style. So you got Chinese people that are from Trinidad and Tobago who have added to the culinary tapestry of the food
Suzette,
here.
what did you start here?
Look, this is so beautiful. Can you guys see it? It smells so good. Lo mein, chow mein, fried rice. Big up to the Chinese American, Chinese Trini, Chinese Jamaican, all of that culture that you see, and pepper shrimp. Thank you.
Thank you.
Girl, I'm gonna get fat and enjoy Roti Delight. Thank you, Miss Sheila. Oh my God, this food is so good, guys. Y'all gotta come to try it. First of all, I just want to mention Joy's Roti Delight won the Taste of Lauderhill, which was a competition earlier in 2018, where I think it was like 8 restaurants and 40 judges, different what do you call it, like secret tasters, secret shoppers came around, and Joy's Roti Delight was the #1, what they call it, viewer's choice, or I forget the critic's choice restaurant, and I can see why, because I'm gonna be fat eating at Joy's, but I don't mind being a sampler today. But you were saying that as a PD, you learned a lot that people can't be judged by their external appearance.
Right.
That people have a story.
Right.
And I think that's a beautiful thing to be able to bring with you. Hopefully, if she's elected in a few weeks, guys, support Jackie Powell. I'm just gonna say it because I feel that way. That she'll bring that perspective, having had that experience, how to be compassionate, right? How to see the totality of circumstances for people. People are just not the worst moment of their behavior. right? All of us make mistakes, but you got to really see what happened before, what happened after, its impact. So many things to weigh. So PD was a great learning lesson in terms of the learning environment, and then from PD you went to private, made some money, and then you opened your own firm. So what do you enjoy most about practicing law? Some people give lawyers a bad rap, but what do you enjoy?
You know, the truth is, it's just the different people that you meet, and trying to be able to resolve different issues. That's what I really love. You know, there's no cookie cutter type of case. Everybody comes. You know, the divorce is different. Stop with the food.
Big up to Joyce Roti to the right. And the Chinese Trini who made this. Because this is just amazing right now. But anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah, so it's being able to resolve different cases, being able to meet with people. And, you know, when people come to my office, you know, I don't just say, okay, here's another paying client. I see them as another person. And I try to deal with them on that level. So I love the fact that when you're your own attorney, you have your own business, you can really take the time and do that. You know, when I was working in the private firm, you literally
make the numbers.
Yeah. So that is afforded.
So you can give that one-on-one client experience that people expect when they get a lawyer, but they don't always get. So
now they don't always listen, but I try.
Clients can be interesting and difficult at the same time. So when you decided to run for judge, what motivated you? You've been literally running for a whole year, guys.
Yes.
So all of you who think you're going to run for office and it's going to be a snap, try again. So more like we're literally in a restaurant. So if you hear what's going on, a mom is trying to get her child to move. But people who want to run for office, particularly women who want to run for office, I always want to encourage that because I think more diverse voices need to be at the table, whether it's on the bench, whether it's in any type of higher office, particularly judges. People underestimate the impact of judges on society. Now I'm reading your comments. Thank you, OG Taylor says the food looks good. It's good. Thank you. But what I realize is that a lot of times our judges are really at the crux of some of the most important decisions made for individuals' personal freedom. You're going to tell this person if they're going to walk outside of the prison walls or not. You're going to tell these people whether they're going to, we've got a little accident going on. Sorry, the baby girl just fell out of the chair, but it's okay. They look okay. They're okay. They're okay. Okay, so we want to make sure we're electing people that reflect the values and have the life experience that will hopefully reflect what the greater society looks like, feels like, thinks like. And I think that is important, Jackie. What are your thoughts on that?
So definitely. So I'm running in county court, which means that on the criminal side, county court judges handle both criminal and civil cases. And it's the same in the circuit court. But in county court, you're looking at the judge is able to sentence you to up to a year in the county jail. And on the civil side, you know, I think I said it before, you're looking at actions that are $15,000 and less.
Right.
So here's the thing. The judge can send you to jail.
Right.
You can be in jail, you know, lose your job, or, you know, time away from your family, all of that. You need somebody who's able to look at the situation and see what sentence it warrants.
Right.
And now I want to say this, and I want to say this clear because, you know, when I talk to my friends, said, I'm not talking about being a judge that's going to just throw away the key and let everybody go.
No.
But you're going to look at every situation and make a ruling based on what the law allows
Under the
you.
law, exactly.
You have your judicial discretion to be able to use it depending on what circumstances are presented before you.
Absolutely, and I think that is reasonable. For most judges, I think, though, if you have limited experiences with people from all walks of life, the very rich, the very poor, the middle class, people who live on the east side of town, people who live on the west side of town, I think the more exposure people bring and the more life experience people bring, the better judge, because a more rounded person makes a better judge, in my opinion. So no matter who you are, it's not a matter of being lenient. It's a matter of always kind of being across the board, even-handed. Not because someone comes from this lower economic background, do they deserve any more or any less, quite frankly. But it's always trying to see people as people and not just a defendant sitting on the behind the table, because it's very easy to dehumanize people when it comes to constantly seeing people over and over again. Each person deserves that individual eye and that look, as in my case is not what, Joe Brown did.
Right.
My case is my case. So please pay attention to my details and all the things that go into what happened to me or what I did. So I want to do a little word association and put Judge,
Oh, jeez.
put Jackie on the spot, because I think it gives you some idea of what her frame of reference may be. So I'm just gonna say a word, and you're gonna tell me the first word that comes to mind when I say this word. Are you ready? Curveball. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Women.
Phenomenal.
Law.
Hard work.
Judge.
Even harder work.
Family.
Support.
Career.
A journey.
Vacation.
Oh, I need one.
How about regret?
I don't have too many of those. I don't know.
How about legacy?
Very important. It's very important that we have a legacy.
Let me give you a couple more. Passion.
Young people.
And I'll leave you with challenge.
Running for judge.
Okay. Getting a little into the psyche of one Jackie Powell. But no, it's important because you know what? There's no perfect set of circumstances or any time to do anything. So how did you know it was the right time for you to run for judge?
Well, one, I have the experience. I've been doing this for 15 years, as I said before. Two, my family's at the place where I could do this. My children are now
bigger,
grown.
yeah.
And also the fact that I went out on my own gives me much more freedom to be able to do this. Campaigning takes a lot, and the time is here and there. So I was at the right time. I think it's at the right time of my life for
I
me
love
to
it.
do this.
Hey Chitachi, hey Richard, thank you for watching. Please like and share. So being out on your own, meaning having your own law firm,
Yes.
allows you the flexibility. So talk about what your typical day is like running for judge.
So
you have to try some of this.
typical, I don't know that there is any typical day.
Okay.
There's some mornings you start off going to a Chamber of Commerce breakfast or some other organization that's having a breakfast. And then you may have to go to a luncheon. And then we have lots of forums, a lot of the different clubs, the partisan clubs, they can have forums when they invite all the candidates to come in. So a lot of them have to do that. And as I said, Broward County is so big, so every city pretty much have their own
Chamber of
Republican club, Democratic club,
yeah.
Chamber of Commerce,
Homeowners Association,
churches,
synagogues, temples,
places of worship, other
mosques,
places of worship.
everything. Yeah.
They have their different events, and
So how do you pick and choose? What does one do when one is only one person and you have, what do you say, like hundreds of places that you can go in any given day?
Right.
What do you do? How do you and somebody has a baby, poor baby, but how do you choose what you want to do?
Well, it's very difficult. A lot of times what you do is you make a choice if they're going to allow you to speak. Some places will allow you to speak and introduce yourself. Other places they'll just say you're here and you're running.
Right.
So you always want to take the opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes those are also conflicts, and some places will allow you to send a surrogate. And I've been blessed because I've had people that I've worked with, that I've supervised in firms and law firms who were able to go out, and now I didn't have to read them a script and tell them this is what you say. I could send them out and they could speak up on their own about what they know
Just
about
by
me.
who you are,
Just
and
by
knowing who you are. So no matter what, I think it's a beautiful thing where you've highlighted the importance of tribe and team.
Yes.
That no matter what, no matter who you are, you can't do anything great. This is what I think this is a very good symbol of. You can't do anything great without a team of associates, a team of past co-workers, a team of family, a team of friends, people who know you, and can really speak from the heart about you, not just say, oh, Jackie's a great person, vote for Jackie, but no, she used to supervise me and she was out, side by side, shoulder to shoulder with me when. And I saw her like in the trenches doing A, B, C. So I think that's powerful. And I think not everyone has that, but it's very important to remember to cultivate that along the way. That no matter who you are, whether you're running for an office, whether you're in business, no man or woman is an island. And having a good support network of friends and family who are genuinely there for you. Not wanting money, because I'm sure they're not going to get paid to go. Can you imagine? You got to be asking people all the time, welcome to running for office. Hey, can you do this for free? Because I need someone to show up and I can't be at 3 places at one time. Will you go? And having, hopefully, many of them say yes. And many of them jumping on board and say, hey, how can I help? And that's so important in any form of business, but even more so when you're running for office. Now, there's a few weeks left in the race, right? And I know things get a little bit, probably on every journey. For some reason, when you get close to the end of something great, it is so difficult. Do you notice that, guys? That when you're almost there to the pinnacle, whatever you're working on, whether it's your law degree, whether it's graduating from any type of school, all of a sudden it's like all hell breaks loose. I know that there are so many times where I feel like I want to give up. Have you ever felt like you wanted to give up in this race?
Well, every other day, and then somebody
keep it real, Jackie.
Somebody kicks me in the shin and said, "We don't even want to hear you say that."
Oh, it's real out here in these streets.
So I get tired, and I'm like, "This is not me. I want to go back to my little corner where nobody knew me." And they're like, "No, you got to keep moving forward." So yes, it's so important. I mean, Francia is monitoring our equipment this morning. Francia is my friend. We met a couple of years ago, and there's another time we'll tell you how Francia and I became friends. There's another love story behind that.
We needed a good camera woman, and she showed up.
She showed up.
So imagine having to call people all the time and being like, hey, can you help me? So if you don't want to ask people, don't run for office. Because you're really going to literally rely on other people, not only for fundraising, because it takes money, not your own money, but hopefully other people's money, but it also takes time. And a lot of times you can't be everywhere at one time. So I'm glad to hear you say, because a lot of women will not admit that there are moments of doubt, that there's moments where fear creeps in, where you want to say to yourself, why am I doing this? Why did I even think I could do this? And want to just throw in the towel. So I'm glad to hear you say there are more than one time per week where we have to, as Tiara would say, level up, level up, level up. Where we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, no, you've started this journey. It wasn't by accident. There was a reason. Somebody needs your voice to be sitting on that bench. So it's more than about you at this stage.
Listen, here's how this thing started. When right after I filed, my mother-in-law, who's had health issues over the past couple of years, had another stroke. She had a stroke before, went through a tough time, had to learn to walk again. And my mother-in-law,
wow.
Raymond's mom, and right as I filed again, she had another stroke, and we were looking at each other like, maybe this is not a good time. And I remember her telling me, she's like, what? No. She's like, it's your time. You need to keep
Shout
going.
Shout out to mommy.
Yeah, she said, you need to, and I was like, if that lady can go through what she's been through and still get up and still try to encourage people, I have a responsibility to take this thing to the end.
I love it. And I think more than likely, some of the greatest things that we accomplish are about more than us, more than ourselves. When you look at the diverse community that we live in, particularly in South Florida, we have people coming here from all kinds of countries, like from here, Joy's Roti Delight, Trinidad and Tobago. You have Jamaicans, you have Haitian Americans, you have Israeli Americans, you have people from the Northeast who have migrated down. You have Florida is like a magnet for all of the United States. I don't know how come, but people who don't know where they want to move, they move to Florida. And we're trying to tell you it's too expensive, stop coming. You're making the housing prices go up too out, but okay, fine. But you're here already, and we love you. But the interesting part of our community, there's so many people from so many walks of life that I always often wonder why, particularly on the bench. When I say on the bench, I mean judges, people who serve on our judicial bench, don't often look like, sound like, represent the beautiful breadth of diversity that is our community. And it's not to say that a person, just because they come from a certain walk of life, cannot show empathy, cannot show compassion, cannot show understanding towards someone else who maybe doesn't come from the same background as them. But I do think there's something to be said about allowing folks who have a very unique experience compared to the majority of people who are already serving, to become a part of that conversation, to become a part of that what has traditionally been a brotherhood, and put a little sisterhood inside of it too. And I think this race, this year's race, judicial race in Fort Lauderdale, you've seen a lot more, and is it a lot more candidates that are coming from unique backgrounds, female, who are from different minority groups, ethnic groups, things like that? Are we seeing a change in our bench? Are we seeing a change in the type of candidates that are interested? Or is it kind of like maybe an anomaly?
I don't know. This year there are a number of judges that are retiring, and then other seats that became open. So yes, so we did have a big group during the primaries. We had 29 people running around vying for seats, but after the primaries now there are only eight of us because there are only 4 seats that are still not filled. So, and I think that people are seeing that we need more diversity on the bench. We think that people are not being afraid anymore to try. We had a great number of women who came out this year and put in their name to run.
Yes.
So you know, I think that it's just the whole change of time that is reflected even in this judicial race.
Yeah, so a lot of people are now, for one reason or another, in politics, have been awakened and are saying, yeah, I could do that.
Right.
I could try. Why not me?
Right.
I want to give a shout out to other people who are watching. Thank you, Denise. Your daughter is watching. Hey, Mom. Hey, Suzette. You guys look great. Thank you, Annalise. I love it. Crystal Jordan's on. Other folks, thank you. Please like and share this video. So, Jackie, I'm not going to keep you because we are going to stuff our faces. So I
have to go canvas.
Yeah, she's going to go door to door. So that's the other part of the job. So if there are people out there who are inspired by you, who want to join the ranks of those who are running for office, what would you say, particularly to women, to encourage them, to let them know that they can do this?
Listen, you know, one of the things that I love when I look at Facebook now is that there are so many female groups. Like even in the legal world, we've got Boss Lady, Esquire, Mrs. Squire, you know, and what is awesome is that people are getting together, supporting each other, and doing awesome things. I mean, even you, Suzette, this event that you're doing, this being on Facebook Live, it's great. And so we really need to start supporting each other more. It's just about building a community. Francia, who's behind the cameras again, she's got a cleaning service made for that. And when they started, her and her husband, we literally went with her. Tar, we went with her and did work.
Oh, you were helping her clean.
We were helping her.
Okay, you talk about sisterhood.
I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
Show up.
Yes.
Don't just say you support me. Why do people do that? Why, when you start a business, I'm deciding on my little wire soapbox. Why do people say, "Oh, I love you, I support you," and never show up? That says a lot. When you're in business and you calling your friends to help, I need help, come and clean this with me as a cleaner, and they come.
Yes.
I'm riding with you, Jackie. I know Jackie's gonna show up.
And so it was not a question when I said I'm running and I'm going to need help. They she was there. So you've got to build relationships. Absolutely. You've got to support people. You've got to love on people. And it always comes back to you in some way, shape, or form. So that's what I want to say. It's so important. All these people who've been to the polls, people call me saying, "Where can I show up?" It's people who I've worked with. It's people who I've had a relationship with. And so it makes a world of difference. My other lawyer friend was during the primaries out in the rain passing out flyers and saying, "Please vote for my friend."
That's a lot.
And so many people told her, "We're going to vote for her just because you're out
here in the rain
for your friend."
Wow. that speaks volumes. That's more than a commercial.
Yeah.
When you see somebody who actually cares enough, not about themselves, but about somebody else, and that candidate, that says a lot. So we beg you, show up. Whoever you're supporting in this midterm election and beyond, show up. That's a part of your civic duty. I love to say that the millennials are learning that it's not just the vote. The vote is important. The writing of the check is even more important, because if you really want them to win, you put your money where your mouth is, because it's not free to run for office. I'm so sorry that I wish it were free so everybody who wanted to could, but it's not. Sometimes the most exposure wins the race, unfortunately. So writing a check and showing up, if you can't write that check, showing up and going door to door, which I will be doing with this beautiful woman here. You know, giving out flyers one day, or doing whatever you can, phone tree, whatever. It matters, and I think that's a powerful lesson in what you just said, the power of community. No one that you've ever seen is successful got there on their own. I love this narrative about pull yourself up from your bootstrap. No ma'am, no sir. There is always somebody who opened a door or cracked it a little, or gave you advice, or put you in touch with, or became the connection. Whatever it is, you didn't do it by yourself. Sorry.
It is so important to get out of your corner, right? And so that's what I've been doing, getting out of my corner and sharing. Become a part of some community. My church, Gateway. Shout out to Gateway Church. And all those people who put up a yard sign, who made a phone call, who did whatever they did. They did so much. Thank you so much. And that's what is needed.
Oh, I love it. Powerful lessons, guys. I hope you've enjoyed and got to know her a little bit more. Know the Jackie I know. Again, thank you. We got a shout out from Brandy, Paula. Brandy talking about go Jackie Powell. We appreciate you. Again, if they want to find your website, where can they find more information about you?
If you want to find out more about me, www.jackieforjudge2018.com. Or you can send me an email, jackieforjudge2018@gmail.com.
I love it. Jackie is already a woman of the people. Hopefully, she'll officially become a representative and a servant of the people this November. I want to shout out one last time, Joy's Roti Delight, killing us with kindness. My belly is stretched, but Joy's Roti Delight. Shout out to Dave and Michelle wherever they are for hooking us up with the Trini, the roti and such. It has been a delicious afternoon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I'm Suzette Speaks. Like, comment, and share. All right, we'll see you guys on a Saturday next week real soon. Take care.